Hello everyone, and I know with this video I'm going to make some people mad, so I do apologize in advance, but today I'm going to be ranking all of the Wuthering Waves updates. This ranges from the base game all the way up to 2.4, so ranking it on what we've seen. So here we have all the updates, and I guess we'll just get straight into it. So starting off with the base game. Looking back, compared to what we have, it does seem quite bad, doesn't it? And I don't know whether to rate it on how I feel about it now, or how I feel about it at the time. Maybe I should do a bit of both. To give it credit, it is the foundation of what this game is now. It did lose a lot of people, simply because of all the issues, along with all the bugs that was going on at the time, along with the story, the voice acting, etc. It was not the best, but it wasn't the worst. It was a very rocky start, but also I stayed, and a lot of people did. So, just for the fact that it was not the best start at all, I'm going to have to put it in C tier. Of course, this isn't a blind rank, I can always change it if I feel like it. But now on to 1.1. This is, in my opinion, a make or break update for this game, and I believe it made it very well. Honestly, soundtrack, map, characters, story, all really good. So across the board, I'm going A tier. Immediately, A tier. I'm sorry, but it was just really good. I really enjoyed it, and it really got me invested in the game after that. Now 1.2, I know 1.2 was very divisive. It was quite empty. The main story wasn't really much because we had that giant event instead, which took up a lot of your time. The characters were good as well. Zhizhi and Zhang Liao. Don't forget, we did get Zhang Liao for free, so that definitely has to be a factor. At the time, it seemed like a bog standard okay update. Maybe it could have done with more story, because of course we had the main story that led to the big event, and then we had the Zhizhi companion quest. So all in all, I'm just going to put it in B, because I think it really just is not good, but not bad. Nothing to write home about, but nothing to slander either. Up next is 1.3. This update turned a lot of heads because, of course, the story was great, the map update was great, a lot of it was really good. Again, similar to 1.1 in a lot of aspects, except this time I feel like they focused more on the characters. Now, I do remember a bit of discourse going on about this update, how people were starting to say that the characters were way too obsessed with Rover. They were glazing them way too much. I remember all that happening, but I'm still going to put it in A tier. I'm probably going to keep it below 1.1, just because 1.1 I think was more important for the game, because of course the base game is just the base game, but the first update really defines a lot, in my opinion. It really shows the direction in what you want to go in, and 1.1 hit home more than 1.3 would. I feel like if 1.3 was 1.1, it would be better, but because 1.1 is the first update, I think it is just a bit better. Plus, we only got one unit in 1.3 compared to 1.1 where we got two, Jinshi and Changli. So, yeah. 1.4, When the Night Knocks, is up next, and to be honest, for it being an update just before a huge update, it's okay. Camellia was good. Like, she was a really busted character. She was really fun to play as well. I think they did a good job with the story as well. However, there really wasn't much there, only because, if you put it in context, it is the update before the main patch. How most gachas do it is they usually have a very sort of nothing burger update before the main patch. But to be honest, for a nothing burger, the nothing tasted okay, so I'm going to put it in high tier B. I'd say it's better than 1.2 just because the game is definitely more mature then. Of course, if you guys disagree, you can always put it in the comments saying, hey, this tier list is really bad and I'm going to disagree. And I will agree to disagree. So, of course, it is personal preference after all, so, I can't disagree with what your guys' opinion is. Or rather, I can't flat out say it's wrong. I can disagree, I just can't say it's wrong. That's what I meant to say. We go from a nothing burger to an absolute juicy Krabby Patty, because 2.0 is where shit hits the fan, shit gets real. I'm going to go out and say it, one of the best gacha updates of all time. Might be a hot take, might not be. 2.0, even though it really abandoned the sort of apocalyptic vibe that wuwa was starting to build up, If you really didn't care for the apocalyptic vibe, then the update was superb. I didn't really care for it. I liked it as a vibe, but I feel like Jinzhou is the apocalyptic state, while Renacita is something else entirely. We can't have a game constantly plagued by doom and gloom. It just won't work, really. It'll be boring. And that's why regions are so polarizing, because some people might like a region, and then some others might hate it just because of the aesthetics and stuff. But I feel like 2.0 across the board was received so well. The characters were great, Carlotta and Rochia. The story was really good. Companion quests, the map exploration was absolutely amazing. 10 out of 10 update, really good, deserves that S rank. Alright, on to 2.1. Wave Sing and the Cerulean Bird Calls. Now, of course, some people said this was God tier filler, some people said that this was main story quest. I feel like this was God tier filler, but it wasn't negative filler, because it actually added to the story in a way. It was kind of like a side story, if you will. Helps with your understanding of the main story in a way. And has some really good game modes as well. The dredge game mode was really good, the fishing. The map was good. I liked the islands as well. Adds more to Renacita, makes it, number one, a lot bigger, and number two, adds more lore. So again, I'm going to put it in A tier, but I'm going to put it top, like very top. Well-deserved A tier update for 2.1. 2.2, Tangled Truth in Inverted Tower. But there's nothing going to be tangled about this one, because it's freely going into the top spot. Purely because of the story, by the way. The story was absolutely amazing. Well-paced, and a very good payoff at the end. Very good. There was a bit of an exposition dump, but I feel like in stories you just need that. It's a shame that we have to have that, because some people do get turned off or slightly turn their heads up at it, but, you know, there's nothing you can do about exposition dumps. But I appreciate that they definitely tried to keep it on the minimal side. And it definitely felt like it worked, because it felt really good. The story, I did not tune out once. I was with it the whole way, and I did it in one sitting, so it was really, really good. I would not say as good as 2.0, just because of the fact that 2.0 had a massive-ass region to go along with it. But the map that 2.2 added was also really good as well. So I'd say definitely well-deserved second place. Now on to 2.3, Fiery Arpeggio of Summer Reunion. Again, this update was very polarizing, because this was an anniversary update. It's the current update we have right now. So of course, technically it's not complete. Technically, I cannot make a fully informed decision about it. However, I feel like it's definitely worth putting in there, because of course, you know, we have 2.4 as well. I'm just going to go out and say it. It's not the best anniversary in the world. That's obviously, I think, pretty much universally agreed on. And I do want to go into as to why the anniversary rewards were lacking, at least from a free character perspective. But this video is not the time for that. The rewards were okay. They were okay. Again, nothing to write home about, but nothing to slander. They were fine. I mean, we could have done with a standard selector, but to be honest, the game is very saturated with standard selectors right now. So they probably felt that that wasn't a good idea. But again, we could have done with one. But that whole discourse is long gone now. I'm going to review the update itself. The content's okay. The events are a slight bit lackluster. The whole cube event I found was actually quite fun. I know it wasn't everyone's cup of tea, but I actually found it quite fun. The QB derby going on at the moment is a bit clunky, because obviously it's time gated, and time gated is just not good in general, really. I don't agree with time gated stuff. I know why they did it, but again, it really shouldn't be time gated. But Zanny's good. The companion quest is actually really good. I really enjoyed that, especially at the end. Really good payoff. So overall, it's not... I don't want to be too harsh on it, because of course there is good substance in it. But I would definitely put it in high B. I would put it in a very high B. I feel like it's definitely better than 1.4, but it's not good enough to be in A tier, I feel. Now, 2.4, I'm going to rate it on what we know about it. Of course, we are getting Cartafia and Lupa. Now, I've seen all the leaks. I'm not going to discuss them here, because this is not a leaks channel. We are, of course, getting a brand new main story quest with a brand new map. I have seen the leaks of that as well. I will not discuss it, but I will just say the map will definitely be worth logging on for. 100%. Of course, we have seen Cartathia's kit. We've really been spoiled here. I'm sure everyone and their mother has seen this by now, but I really just have to give my thoughts on it. Because, wow. Just wow. I honestly thought that it couldn't get any better than the stuff we have already. But Cartathia is such a high-valued unit that Jesus Christ. Look at this, man. Jesus! Jesus Christ! It's so good. It is so good. Jesus Christ. And the fact that they actually used Jeff Keighley, of all people, the Game Awards guy, the Summer Game Fest guy, to leak it themselves is even more funny. But to rate the update on what I've seen so far, what we expect, of course, we're getting 2 new 4-star skins as well. So they will be around 1,680 Astrite, but there might be a discount on release. So if you're planning to get both, then have around 300, sorry, Lunite, not Astrite. Have 3,000 Lunite ready. Around there, you should be able to get it. Plus we are getting a 300 Lunite token off of that as well. So to put it on the tier list, it is a bit unfair because, of course, we have not really played it yet. So I cannot put it in S, even though it really deserves it just from the leaks alone and everything else. But of course, I'm not going to base it off of leaks. I'm going to base it off of what we've seen. We have seen quite a bit, to be fair. So I can put it no higher than a high A, I think. That's about as good as I can do for it, I'm afraid. Now, an overall review of this tier list, I'd say it's good, because obviously you've got an A-leaning update cycle, really. Of course, you've got 2 S tiers. I bet some of you guys could probably argue that some of these updates should be higher. I'm just trying to be fair, I guess. I'm trying not to let my bias get in the way. But of course, the base game being at 1.0, I think, is fair, I'd say. Of course, it really is all subjective because, of course, a tier list really depends on how you guys see it. And it's ironic that my last video was talking about rage bait, yet here I am potentially making you guys get absolutely mad. So it's actually quite funny how this has transpired. But no updates in D tier. I think that actually shows levels to how good this game actually is. The fact that we don't even need a D tier for this tier list. You could argue that the base game should be in D tier, but I'm really not going to do that. Because then you've got a giant gap between the base game and all the updates, and I don't feel like that's the case. I really don't feel like that's the case. If it was, then a lot more people would have tuned out, I think. But yeah, guys, let me know. Do you agree with this tier list? Do you not? If so, then please do leave a comment. I will try and respond to every single comment that gets put under this video. Hopefully I didn't piss you guys off too much. But thank you all so much for tuning in to this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye for now.